Hey, it's Cliff, and after Dave Ramsey's little 8% withdrawal rate fiasco, it seemed like he took quite a long break from the show. Some people were saying that he took a vacation to Mexico, other people were joking that he was dealing with the lawsuits that he's involved in, but what it comes down to is he was gone for a very long time, until a few days ago. So he came back, he was on the show, and about midpoint in the show, he gets to another segment where he is just absolutely wrong on the information that he is giving you. And during this segment, his daughter, Rachel Cruz, actually pushes back on him, letting him know that he is wrong. And Dave kind of starts to accept that maybe he's not right on the situation, but I want to watch the video with you so you can see how wrong Dave is. At the end of the video, if you don't know that he's wrong, I'm going to give you all the resources to show you that just what he's saying is just not accurate. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
I'm calling to get some advice on talking to my close friend. She told me that she has added her toddler, who's 2 years old, as an authorized user on her credit card.
So if you guys don't know, this is a popular trend going around on social media right now. Basically, parents are adding their kids to their credit card so that they can build up credit. And by the time they turn 18, they will have credit already established so they can go ahead and make purchases on a car or a house or whatever. They're already set, right? They don't have to worry about building their way up.
For what?
And I kind of froze.
To build
For what?
to build a kid's credit score. People are doing this now.
To build a kid, yes, because
It's a TikTok trend.
Oh, God.
Now, we already know that Dave's going to be against this because he doesn't like credit scores, but the reality of the situation is you need credit in America to do anything. Yes, there are certain ways that you can go ahead and buy a house without credit, but it is such a pain in the ass. Why would anybody want to go through these issues when they could just build up their credit? It's not hard to build up your credit.
The level of stupidity is painful. It just really is. I mean, TikTok, my God, y'all.
I mean, it's not just TikTok, but they talk
I
about
know,
it there.
but that's just completely asinine. So, because here's now what you've done, okay? You've opened little Junior up to like 73,000 possibilities of Russian hackers completely stealing his identity.
This is where crazy conspiracy theories start to fly. Is it possible that his identity could be stolen if he's established on a credit card? Sure. But what's more likely, that you're going to get your identity stolen or that you're going to actually need credit to buy a house or a car?
And if little Junior stays off the dadgum grid, then Russian hackers aren't going to steal his identity. So keep Junior off the grid.
You can't live your entire life off the grid. It just doesn't work like that.
It's not a conspiracy. It's a fact.
No, you sound like a conspiracy theorist.
It's not a conspiracy theory. I mean,
like me.
Identity theft happens to people all the time.
Look at Rachel Cruz here. She is so sick of him. You can see it coming out. Like she pushes back. You know, she loves her dad and everything, but she's so sick of his conspiracies and being wrong. You can just tell that she is fed up.
I wouldn't want to expose my child to the level of identity theft that you've exposed your child to.
It is a calculated risk that you'd have to make. Likelihood that their identity is going to get stolen, or likelihood that they're actually going to need good credit when they become a mature adult.
The probability of identity theft went up 10,000x.
I don't know about 10,000x, but sure, you did actually increase your child's attack surface.
But then things happen in life, right? And parents get behind on their bill, and then they end up trashing the kid's credit score, and it does the opposite effect of what their intentions were.
See, I'm all for Rachel Cruz in this segment. She's being logical. Like, yes, you can mess up your credit, which in turn will mess up your child's credit if they are on your credit card. That's logical. That is a risk of actually doing this. She's being smart.
Technically, a user should not get the credit of the owner anyway.
So this is where Dave comes in, and he's actually wrong with this. Users do get the credit.
They're doing it in the first place,
I know, but technically an approved user on the card should not be affected by the credit of the card.
There's no technically here. You're just absolutely wrong.
Positive or negative, technically, because they're not on the account. They're just allowed to use the account. So it should not show up. If it does, FICO is screwed up.
I'm actually going to show you later, as I mentioned, that Dave is wrong. I will give you sources to show you that he's wrong.
Because they're not an owner on the account.
They're just an authorized user. But I feel like that's why parents are doing that, though.
And there she is pushing back again. So here's the thing when it comes to Dave, though. I understand you are a financial expert, but you can't be correct on everything. And I don't think any viewer expects you to be right 100% of the time. But when you don't know and you're pushing back this hard and still being wrong, that's where the issues arrive. That's where you get this 8% withdrawal fiasco that was going around on the internet. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. So just admit that you're wrong. Just be wrong. People will still love you.
But just because you're allowed to, all it means is you're allowed to sign. It doesn't mean you own it or are liable.
So Lisa, what's her purpose of doing it? Does she tell you?
Because she's an idiot.
No, stop. But why? What was she saying?
How does it get by calling all these customers an idiot? People call in all the time for him just to trash you all the time. It's like people just like this abuse.
To build credit.
It won't build her credit. It shouldn't build your credit.
As an authorized user, that's why
does not. It's not supposed to.
Should we
Now,
Google?
sometimes it gets reported that way.
And so here's the good part. Now she's breaking out Google.
Falsely. But it should not happen because you're not liable on the account if you're an authorized user. It's not legal.
I hear you.
It's legally wrong. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen. But
you are liable on the account. That's why Rachel Cruz just brought up that you could trash your kid's credit, which would kind of defeat the whole purpose of doing this. But you would think someone that is making the move to put an authorized user on their account would be pretty credit savvy and they're not going to trash their own account. Great. Bad things could happen. I understand that, but they're more likely to be financially savvy and in a good place in life.
This is your plan. I want my child to use credit cards and be in debt the rest of their life.
And then we're going to go back to Ramsey principles here, which, we're just going to disagree on. That's fine. Dave's not a debt guy. That's okay too.
The good credit management helps then improve your credit worthiness.
I know. It says what? An article on TikTok?
Well,
there he goes back to the TikTok. He refuses to be wrong. Even though he knows that he's wrong, you can see how frustrated he's getting. He is wrong. He refuses to just be like, hey guys, okay, maybe I wasn't right there. Does he think it's going to destroy his credibility? Like, no one expects you to be right 100% of the time.
The person that owns the account, the owner of the account, not the authorized user.
I like it when Rachel Cruz is on because she's the only one that will push back against Dave. The show is completely unwatchable when Dave's on because the other co-hosts won't go against the grain.
They may actually screw up their kid's credit. It's possible.
Yeah.
Or enhance their kid's credit. It's possible.
Okay, so now he's admitting that he's wrong, kind of, without admitting that he's wrong. It's possible now, where technically it was wrong. Now it's possible.
Because here's the thing. Who goes back and checks a 4-year-old's credit twice a year to make sure that they've not had their account scarfed?
Probably people that are trying to build up their child's credit, adding them as an authorized user. They're probably looking at that kind of thing because they're worried about their kid's credit. All right, so for those of you that don't know or are curious, I'm going to bring up and show you my references that obviously Dave is wrong. So the first one that I got here is from chase.com. This isn't a TikTok article. It is Chase, who obviously is in the banking industry. They're going to know a little bit about credit, right? I would say that's a pretty credible source. Chase? Yes. Okay. So they say, can being an authorized user build your credit? And as I scroll down here, it says building your credit the smart way. Being added as an authorized user on another person's card may help you establish a credit history or build your credit. Boom, right there. Chase, obviously credible. There you go. Dave, you're wrong. But maybe you're thinking crazy conspiracies. Oh, well, they're part of the banking industry and they're going to lie to you, right? Maybe you're crazy and whatever. So there's another one here from NerdWallet, which obviously is a very reputable financial website. If you guys haven't heard of NerdWallet, they are super reputable. And their article states, do authorized users build credit? Know the pros and cons. So obviously there's going to be cons. I'm not 100% saying that there's not any cons to this. Like Dave mentioned, identity theft. That could be a potential con. Could happen. You have to weigh the pros and the cons. It's risk management for what you want to do for your kid. But the fact of the matter is Dave is wrong and it does build credit. So they say how being an authorized user can benefit your credit. So they have decreased your credit utilization to help you build your credit score. They have allow you to get credit without having a credit check. And bullet point number 3, help children establish credit. Just a short version says before children are eligible to apply for a credit card on their own, parents may be able to add them as authorized users to help them establish their credit at a young age. Then when they're eligible to apply for their own, they'll have a strong foundation to build upon. Some lenders have age requirement minimums for authorized users and won't report to the credit business bureaus unless the user meets that threshold. Call the issuer to check for age requirements. So there could be some limitations, but at the end of the day, it does help you build credit. That was the question at hand. So I don't know if Dave's going to take another month-long vacation after being wrong again, but I just wanted to give you that here. It's not a hate on Dave. I just wish he was less stubborn. That's all it comes down to. I'm sure he's a good guy. So anyway, if you found that entertaining, please check out my Patreon below. And as always, thank you for watching.